What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fragrance Journey. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I have 10 awesome rack store scores that I got just hunting around the rack stores and checking out what they had. These are 10 awesome pickups that I had. Do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy my content and drop a like, and let me know down in the comments what is one cheapie that you found at the rack stores that you've been enjoying lately. I'd love to hear about it. Let's get this started here with Montblanc Starwalker Extreme. Now, there's a specific reason that I wanted to bring this one up first. I was at Sephora sampling a couple different fragrances, mainly in the Gucci Guilty line. I was comparing Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum to Gucci Guilty Black and just kind of seeing which one I liked more. And what I realized was that this one has some elements of those two, but I think it's even better and it's way less money. It's an aquatic freshie that has some nice dusty powderiness to it, a black aquatic per se. And I didn't really appreciate this one enough until I sampled those two Gucci fragrances, and then I came home and I tried this one and I realized that I think I like this one even more. So a lot of times it's about perspective, and just the perspective of me trying those two different Gucci ones and then coming home and then trying this one made me just fall in love with this one even more. This one's like $25 for 100 ml. It's pretty unique as far as fresh fragrances go. Not a lot of fresh aquatic fragrances with a nice incense touch, with a black kind of powdery nature to it. Really enticing. And actually I get pretty great performance out of this one, surprisingly. So check out Starwalker Extreme if you are into something like Prada L'Homme Intense, or if you like Acqua di Gio Profumo, things with a little bit of an incensey, kind of dusty, powdery nature, but also an aquatic freshness. That's the way that this one smells, and I'm a big fan of that one. The next one up is a newer one to my collection. This is CK1 Reflection. You know, I told myself I was not going to buy another one that doesn't have a cap, but you know, here we are with another capless fragrance. I've been seeing some hype on this one, so I wanted to see what all the fuss was about, and I can understand where the love is coming from because this is a really great smelling fragrance. It's a fruity, fresh type of a fragrance, very easygoing. It's certainly unisex, nothing too masculine about this. It's got that bubblegum sweetness, really reminds me of a fruity bubblegum, one of those like fruity Trident flavors. That's what comes to mind when I spray this one. A little bit below average in the performance, but works really well in the high heat. You can really overspray this one, so go crazy with the atomizer. It's only 25 bucks for this 100 ml. I'm a fan of this frosted glass. I think it looks quite nice, and yeah, a nice little cheapie to get you through the summer. Next one up we have is from the house of Hollister. This is called Hollister Wave 2. This is currently my favorite Hollister fragrance, and one that I think is very underappreciated, underloved. It's a really good tropical, kind of fresh and sweet fragrance. It smells a little bit like Invictus Aqua, but it does have a bit more of a creamy nature to it, a bit more of a tropical nature, kind of like a pina colada vibe. And I get pretty average performance here, but the scent profile and the quality for what you pay, I think, is much higher, and this one is readily available, at least at my Ross that I shop at. I've seen this one pop up all the time, so it is available for people going out, and I really suggest that if you like fresh, kind of tropical type fragrances with some sweetness, that you go ahead and grab this one. It's only 20 bucks for 100 ml, and I go back to it time and time again. It's very slept on and not enough love shown to Hollister Wave 2. I think it kind of gets disregarded just because it's a Hollister fragrance sometimes. The next one up that I found that I really enjoy is Versace Eros. You probably already know it. This one's kind of become a modern classic at this point. It's known as the king of clubbing. Along with 1 Million, they kind of compete for the crown of who's the clubbing king fragrance. And the reason is because the performance and the projection is so strong on this one. This is the Eau de Toilette concentration. You could really go with any of the Eroses. They're all pretty fantastic, including Eros Flame. I'm a big fan of that one. But this is just happens to be the one that I found. I really enjoy it. It's got this tonka bean sweetness to it, and it's got some nice masculinity as well in there, and just very great performance. That's the best part of this fragrance, is the performance. So you can also use it in the office, but I just say dial back the sprays, but it does have a little bit more versatility than I think people give it credit for. The next one up we have is Polo Sport Fresh. Polo Sport Fresh. Now it's interesting because this fragrance originally, the original Polo Sport, I believe came out in the 90s. And this Polo Sport Fresh flanker came out maybe a year or two ago. So it's kind of strange that they waited so long to make a flanker, but hey, I'm fine with it because the fragrance smells great. It's a very easygoing, sporty, super ultra fresh fragrance. It's got iris in there, and it's a very clean iris. It's not a soapy iris or a makeup lipstick waxy iris. I'm not sure if it's real iris or if it's synthetic, because at this price point I kind of have a hard time believing that it's real iris in there, but it does have that cleanliness that iris provides. Some other florals in there as well, but overall just a very fresh, easygoing, great for the gym, great for the office, very appealing. Not too much sweetness or anything cloying in there. Works really well in the high heat. Very versatile, very much a dumb reach fragrance. So if you want just a clean iris that isn't going to cost you a whole bunch of money but ends up smelling great, something you could wear to the gym or the office or school or something like that, and you don't want to offend anybody, Polo Sport Fresh is a good one to go with. Performance is average on my skin for that one. The next one up here we have is from the house of Abercrombie & Fitch. This is Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct Blue. And if you guys can see, this is my second bottle of this already, and you can see right there, the juice is getting pretty low. So this is my personal favorite one to use just around the house because I love the way it smells so much, but sadly it doesn't last too long. It kind of reminds me of Ralph's Club, the Eau de Parfum. So if you want a cheaper take on Ralph's Club Eau de Parfum, you can go with this and you're gonna get pretty close. It is a blue fragrance, got that shower gel vibe that you would associate, but it does have some kind of a dustiness, powderiness. And I've noticed in myself that I really like fresh fragrances that have this dusty, powdery nuance to it. That's probably why I like Starwalker Extreme. So it's kind of a similar deal here, except this one is definitely more of that shower gel approach versus the Starwalker Extreme, which is kind of more of an aquatic take. And you can really go crazy on the sprays on this one. Good for the gym, you know. Sadly, it only lasts about an hour, but for people who don't really care as much about performance and they just like fragrances to wear around the house, First Instinct Blue is really great smelling and one that I go back to a lot. Today, this is my fragrance of today. This next one, this was Lacoste Essential. And this one came out in the mid-2000s, but still holds up really well. It doesn't smell outdated at all. It's a nice, sporty, fresh fragrance. Another one that's gonna be really good for the summer, really good in the high heat situations. It's got some green notes in there, so it's not just a straight up freshie like the Polo Sport Fresh. It does have some character. Certainly a masculine fragrance, nothing unisex about this one here. And the green notes that it has is a tomato leaf, so that's one thing that really makes this one a little bit unique with that tomato leaf note. And overall, very appealing, nice citrus up top, very easy going, solid freshie here. I get average performance on here. I get about 4 or 5 hours, you know, typical stuff. Another one that you can really overspray and go crazy on, and pretty enjoyable overall. This one pops up a decent amount of time, and don't overpay for this one. Sometimes I see that it's a little bit overpriced, so just check around online, make sure you're getting a good deal, but it is a great fragrance at the end of the day. The next one up on this list is going to be the strongest, the most beast mode, the best performer, and also the oldest fragrance here. This is Versace Blue Jeans. I believe this came out, I'm not going to speculate, not sure when it came out, probably in the 90s. And it's a very flowery, it's a floral fragrance, but it's very masculine. It's kind of interesting how floral it smells, but also very masculine. It is fresh. I get like some reminder of like a vinegar smell for some reason, but I don't want to say that and turn you away from it because it doesn't smell like vinegar. For some reason that comes to mind. So if vinegar could smell good and appealing and nice, that's what I get here. And yeah, it's just mainly the florals that shine through. It's got a whole amalgamation of notes like they used to do. You know, they just used to pile on so many more notes, or at least they gave you a lot more notes than they do now. And like I mentioned in the beginning, very strong performance here. You know, as you can see, this is not really one that I reach for that much. It is a little bit more of a mature scent profile. And I usually like to go for stuff that's a little bit more youthful, so it's not necessarily my cup of tea. Maybe I just need to give it a couple more wearings, but it is a great fragrance, and there are a lot of you out there that are watching this that are gonna absolutely love this one because it is really good at the end of the day, and the quality that you get for the price that you pay is very great value here with Versace Blue Jeans. Next one up we have is Hugo Reversed. This is pretty much the only one of the canteen style bottles that I would suggest that you guys go with. This is a really nice designer take on Elysium by Roja, and I recently did a video about Trillium, which is, or sorry, not Trillium, but Imperium, which is a straight up clone from Fragrance World. And the quality of the oils, I would say, is higher in this one. So if you want a clone, I would go with this one because it just smells a little bit more expensive with the oils in here. I used to recommend that one when I first picked it up. You know, I was really kind of into it. But lately I've been going back and forth, and this one's a little bit fresher. It's maybe not as close of a clone of like a one-to-one of Elysium. This one's a little bit more of inspired by, you could say, but I think this is the better choice of the two if I only had to pick one. Nice grapefruit note, nice vetiver in there as well, and very easygoing. A great fragrance to buy if you're just kind of starting out, or if you are going to blind buy a gift for someone and you're not really sure what kind of fragrances they like. This is a good one to get as a gift, and I would say that most people are going to like this one. Average performance here, not a super strong fragrance, not super deep or anything. Very light, aerosonic, fresh grapefruit vetiver combo, and kind of similar to Elysium. So very uplifting type of a profile right there that you're going to get with Hugo Reversed. Last one up on this list for today is Davidoff Coolwater, Grapefruit and Sage. This is a limited edition release, but I think it's still popping up and you can still grab it from time to time. Really nice herbal tea vibe that you're getting here. Only 2 notes, just the grapefruit and the sage, and mainly the grapefruit is off the top to give it a little bit of that citrus blast in the opening. And then the sage, when it dries down, is really modern smelling. It doesn't smell outdated or anything like that. Just a very nice herbal sage, not overly complicated, but works really well. I get really good performance out of this one. And great bang for your buck. I think it's like 20 bucks for this 100 ml. It does not smell cheap at all. It smells pretty nice, and smells like 3 times the price that you pay as far as quality goes with this one. Davidoff is really great value for many of their fragrances, and this is no exception with grapefruit and sage. Hope you guys enjoyed it today. Always love making these videos and hearing what you guys are wearing. I'll see you soon at the Fragrance Attorney. Keep smelling great out there, people.